therefore we do as our Saviour has commanded, proclaiming his offering of himself, made once for all upon the cross. His mighty...
Our faith really does help us to get through. To us, if Matthew didn't survive an operation, we know that he would be going to a better place with no pain, and all those things that he wants would be there for him.
But dealing with dying and heaven so openly creates a unique dilemma.
It's really hard not to paint it as being, it is the most wonderful place, but I don't want him to have the desire to want to go there. I want him to be happy if he has to go there to go, but I don't want to make it so appealing that he thinks, let's go there, you know, like it's a holiday. It's not, it's about finding that balance between real life and what he will leave behind, but having him being happy to go there.
The Fiddicks believe Matthew was close to death when fate stepped in. Matthew's sister Sarah saw a television program about the work of Sydney-based neurosurgeon Dr Charles Teo.
I begged Mum to come and watch, but she couldn't because she was with Matthew. So I went on the internet and I printed off 3 pages, and I begged Mum to ring him, and she did.
They called me up from Perth to ask if I'd be prepared to operate on Matthew. Given that the neurosurgeons there were not prepared to operate on him, and that he had recurrent anaplastic ependymoma. Now, an anaplastic ependymoma is even more aggressive than the standard ependymoma and will invariably lead to the patient's death. An anaplastic ependymoma in layman's terms is a very nasty tumour. If someone has a recurrent anaplastic ependymoma and has failed radiotherapy and has failed chemotherapy, as Matthew had, then it's not unreasonable to say to that person, listen, the writing's on the wall, why prolong the inevitable?
The prognosis wasn't good, but Dr Teo agreed to review Matthew's case and call the family with his decision.
Really, up until now, we had no hope. And when you've got no hope, that is like the bottom of the barrel. Like, I've never, ever felt, other than that week, that we had no hope at all. And I knew this phone call that I wanted to come, but by the same token, I didn't want it to come because I was never quite sure what he was ever going to say.
Matthew was running out of the one thing he needed most: time. The Fiddicks waited anxiously for Dr Teo's call.
I can remember him saying, you need to get on a plane today. Get on a plane today and I'll operate on him tomorrow. And I just burst into tears. I can remember Charlie saying to me, for goodness sakes, girl, why are you crying? I said, I'm crying because you're giving me hope. You're giving me something that everybody else has taken away from us.
Ready? 1, 2, and shut your mouth.
I find it very difficult to say to someone like Matthew, listen, actually you don't have quality of life, and sorry, I know you've got a will to live, but we're not prepared to fight the fight with you. One of my close friends died, and on her deathbed she said, Charlie, the worst thing about dying is when everyone else around you has given up hope, but you haven't. Now, wouldn't that be terrible? I mean, can you imagine if you still feel like there's a chance you could live, but everyone's going, oh, well, don't worry, I'll look after the cat for you.
Charlie first operated on Matthew in June of 2000 and he was upset and he did cry. He was worried how long it would take for us to come to heaven to make him. And I remember him saying to us, because he was still just, and he is still just a child, and I remember him saying to us, how long will I have to wait? Will you and Daddy and the girls, will you all die and come to heaven really quick to be with me? And I remember saying to him, no, we can't do that, Matthew, because your sisters have to grow up, but time goes really fast in heaven and you won't even miss us.